Hi everyone, my name's Hannah and I'm a first year advisor and recruiter at UPEI. Today I'm going to be showing you how to register in your first year courses. So the first thing we need to do is open two tabs at upei.ca. So once you have two tabs open, then you're ready to start. We'll start here by clicking the My UPEI button at the top right corner. You can also just type in my.upei.ca and it will take you to the same place. So once you're here, you'll need your UPEI username and password to log in. So when you were accepted to UPEI, you should have received an email to the email account that you applied with your tuition deposit payment instructions. So you'll use the username and PIN from your email to log into upei.ca/paydeposit. You'll pay your deposit there, and then within a few business days, you'll receive your UPEI username and password. So then when you come to my.upei.ca, you'll be able to set up your account by clicking this here, or if you have your UPEI account already set up, you can just log in. So today I'll be using Joe Panther. I'll use his username to log in. So now that we're in, I'll quickly describe what your My UPEI account has for you. So you'll see some alerts specific to you on the left-hand side, and then more general announcements below that. On the right-hand side, you'll see some icons there. Outlook icon in blue, that's our email platform. So you can log in using your UPEI username at upei.ca with the password that you set. You can also log into Moodle using your UPEI username without the email address at the end and the password that you set. And this is where you'll be able to access all of your courses. You'll be able to see the syllabus for each course. You'll be able to upload assignments, take tests, participate in class discussions, and get announcements from your professor. So we'll go ahead and scroll down. You'll see some forms here. You don't need to worry too much about the forms right now. If you need help navigating the forms, you can reach out to us at apply@upei.ca. And we'll keep scrolling down until we see the student toolbox. So this has all of the resources you need as a student at UPEI. You'll see the student finance, that's where you'll go to pay your tuition. You'll see the course catalog down here where you can browse courses. And you'll see the student planning tab as well. So we'll go ahead and click that. So once you're into your student plan, you'll be able to click this little grad cap on the left-hand side and click student planning, and then you'll be able to click plan and schedule or my progress. So we'll start with my progress. Okay, so we'll be able to view your progress bar here. So this page has everything you need to know about all the courses you're required to take over your degree at UPEI. So it can seem a little overwhelming at first, but if we break it down, it's actually quite easy to understand. You'll see some general information on the left-hand side, your GPA, your department, your major, and then on the right-hand side, you'll see your progress bar. A degree at UPEI is made up of 40 courses. Each course is worth 3 credits, so 40 times 3 is 120. You'll be completing 120 course credits over your degree at UPEI. So that's why the progress bar says 120 there on the side. When a degree is 40 courses, typically students finish that in 4 years. So if you divide 40 by 4, that's 10 courses per year, or 5 courses per fall and winter semester. There is a little bit of flexibility about how you arrange your courses. You can take 4 courses in fall, 4 in winter, and take some spring and summer courses. You can always take a longer degree if you need. It's totally customizable and up to your preferences. Just keep in mind that a part-time student takes 1 or 2 courses and a full-time student takes 3 to 5 courses, with 5 being the maximum amount of courses that you can take. So now that we're looking at the progress page, we can scroll down and see all of the general required courses for a degree in biology. So you'll see that there are some biology courses listed here. Joe Panther is also required to take a statistics course, some physics courses, math courses, and a UPEI first year course that I'll cover in more detail later, along with other courses that are required for his degree. This can seem overwhelming, but when you view the course page for your program, it's easier to understand exactly what courses you need to take in your first year. So we'll go back to the upi.ca tab, we'll look at undergraduate programs, and we'll find the program that corresponds to your major. So in Joe Panther's case, it's biology, but you can look at the page for the program that you're taking. Okay, so we'll click onto the biology page, and on the right-hand side, you can see the tabs for the different sections of the page. If you click course structure, you should be able to see in an easier to read format what courses are required for your degree, but also a detailed course plan based on your year of study. So we'll scroll down until we can see the heading that says suggested course sequences. So you'll see for first year, it lists exactly what courses a first year biology student needs to take. So you'll see it's asking for intro to biology, intro to chemistry, calculus, statistics, physics, UPI course, and electives. So biology and chemistry and physics and many other courses at UPI have part 1 and part 2. So bio 1310, chem 111, physics 1210, those are all the first part of the course, and bio 1320, chem 1120, and physics 1220 are all the second part of the course. So first parts of courses are often only offered in the fall semester, and second parts of courses are often only offered in the winter semester. So you take the first part first, and that's a prerequisite for the second part, which you can then take in the winter semester. It'll make more sense when we look at it on the course plan. So with that in mind, what you need for your first year, that makes it a little simpler to understand exactly what courses you need to take. If you need help navigating your second, third, and fourth year classes, I recommend that you reach out to an upper year advisor. They can take a look at your progress page and all of your courses to make sure that you're on track to reach your goals. So we'll go back here. Now that we've kind of had a glance at the progress page and the program page, we know where to start, what courses you need to plan on your schedule. So we'll go up here to academics. We'll click student planning, and we'll go to plan and schedule. So we'll make sure that we are on the intended semester that we would like to plan for. In this case, it's fall 2022. And we'll start searching for courses based on the ones suggested to us in the course sequence on the biology page. So we'll start with bio 1310. We're going to search bio 1310, and it will come up in the search bar. You'll see that your result is the first one there. You can see a description for the course and any prerequisites required for the course, as well as required labs or tutorials. So you'll see that this biology 1310 class requires a lab at the same time. So we'll go ahead and view the available sections for bio 1310. We can see that it's offered in the fall term. If you know that you'd like to add one of these specifically, you can click the blue button to add that specific section to your schedule, or we can click Add Course to Plan to add all of the sections as options to the schedule. Then we'll make sure that we scroll down and add the lab as well. So now that we have bio 1310 and the lab on the schedule, we can search for the next course, which is chemistry. So same thing, you can view the sections available, or you can just click Add Course to Plan to add it to your plan. And make sure that you add the lab as well, because you can see it's a requisite there. Okay, and then we'll add math. So we'll go ahead and add that to the plan. All right, so now we will pick a UPI first year requirement course. So you can choose between UPI 1010, UPI 1020, and UPI 1030. UPI 1010 is cross-listed with English 1010, so when you're looking for it in the course catalog, please type in ENG 1010 and it'll show up. This is an academic writing course, so it helps you sharpen your writing skills. UPI 1020 is inquiry studies, so it helps you with your research skills, answering and asking big questions. And then UPI 1030 is university studies, which helps you prepare generally for your studies as a university student. Please note that when you're choosing your UPI required course, only choose one course. You will only get credit for one of these courses. So if you take more than one, you won't get credit for more than one course. Please also note that sometimes you have a choice between any three of the courses, but some programs require that you take one course in particular, such as English 1010 for business students or kinesiology students. So please make sure you check the course sequence and see if it specifies which UPI course you should be taking. So let's say that Joe Panther is taking UPI 1030. We'll search that in the catalog. And add the course to plan. So now we have 4 courses on the plan. We can go ahead and look at the schedule. So we'll click Student Planning to go back and see what it looks like on the schedule. And when we go to fall 2022, we can see all of the courses that we planned there. So biology 1310, looks like there's 2 times available here when you click view other sections. So you can read more about the course. You can see how many seats are available, who the instructor is, when it's offered, and the location. So UPI courses are typically offered on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays for 50 minutes at a time, or Tuesdays and Thursdays for an hour and 15 minutes, or once a week for 3 hours. So that gives you a little bit of flexibility when you're picking your courses so that you can find something that works best for you. So when we're looking at these biology courses, we can see there's 2 times and either of these would typically work. So we'll just pick one of these and add it to the plan. Then we'll scroll down and we'll see the lab right underneath, and we'll pick a lab time that works best for Joe Panther. So let's say Wednesday afternoon. We'll go ahead and add that to the plan as well. And then we'll pick a time for chemistry. So it looks like everything is lining up pretty well on Joe Panther's schedule. If you'd like to change things around, you can always click the X button on the course to remove it for your schedule, and then you can add in another section that works better for you. It is nice to plan courses back to back so that you're on campus and you can go from one class to the other. And it's also nice to plan a time to have your lunch break so that you're not just attending classes all day without any breaks. So this looks pretty good. We have 4 classes planned. You'll notice on the suggested course sequence for biology students that they get an elective course as well. So depending on what program you're in, you might have 1 elective or you might have 7 electives. It just depends what's listed on your course sequence. So choosing electives, whether you're a biology major, an arts major, or in the Faculty of Business, is a similar process. So what I like to do is when I search for courses, I just search for nothing. I don't type in anything, I just click enter. And then I use the filter results on the left-hand side to select my intended term. In this case, it's fall 2022. 1,000 level courses, so that's first year courses. And then open sections only. And then you'll be able to see all of the courses that are available to you to take as an elective. As long as it doesn't require any prerequisites at the high school level or university level, then you should be able to take any of these courses. You can scroll through and read more about the courses in the descriptions, and then once you find one that you like, you can add the course to your plan. This is a really great way for you to explore other options in other faculties and see what courses you're interested in. So I recommend that you take some time looking through the courses and find something that matches your interests. So let's say that Joe Panther is interested in Anthropology 1050. We will do the same thing as before. We'll select the fall term and we'll add it to the plan. One thing about electives is that you have a little more flexibility because it's not a required course. If anthropology doesn't work for Joe Panther's plan, then he can pick another elective that he's interested in that might work for his plan instead. So we'll go back to the student plan and schedule, and we'll find a time to fit in this anthropology course. So works right after his UPI 1030 course. So this schedule looks pretty good to me. We have courses back to back without any major gaps other than the labs. Joe Panther is a morning person, so he likes to come in early, get his courses done, and then have the afternoons off to spend in the library studying. So this works for him. If he did want to change anything around, he would have until about the second week of courses to change his schedule. Just make sure that if a course fills up, when you drop it, if you're registered, then you won't receive the same spot in the class. You'll have to join the waitlist again. So when you're looking at the plan, if the courses are yellow, that means it's planned. If you add a course to your plan and it shows up as red, it means the course is full. You're welcome to join the waiting list. So on the side here, you'll click the Join Waitlist button. Then you'll be on the waiting list. If you make it to the top of the waiting list, you'll receive an email to your UPI email address with a notice that you have 24 hours to log in to your student plan and click the register button to enroll in that class. If you wait more than 24 hours, then unfortunately you'll have to join the waitlist again and start all over again. But if you make it off of the waitlist, then you can just register in the course. Once everything is planned and you're happy with your schedule, everything will show up in yellow on the schedule. There should be a Register Now button at the top right-hand corner of your schedule. So once everything's all set, you'll click the Register Now button and it will register you in all your courses and labs and tutorials all at the same time. If there are any issues with your plan or you're missing a requisite or the course is full, you'll get a notice there on the right-hand side. So if you have any questions or you need any help with your course planning or registration, feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to help. You can contact us at apply@upi.ca. Thanks for watching.